I understood, like on Calc Chat it said it was like, it came out to like negative x over x, which I understood how they got the negative there, but if it's an absolute value, how can it be negative? If I'm remembering absolute value.
Right. So yeah, you'd plug in, well, that, remember I said that's a parent function you should know, and that way if you know it, you can think about the graph of it, and then you don't have to worry about plugging things in.
Right.
So I'll do it both ways, but the graph looks like this. So limit as x approaches 0 from the left would be negative 1.
Okay. Yeah.
Now if you want to try negative 0.001, you end up with, you're right, the top would become positive, 0.001. The bottom would still be negative, and that would equal negative 1.
Okay, so Calc Chat just hadn't fixed it so that it was like the bottom was negative. They just moved the negative sign to the top
Okay.
automatically. Because I was like, what? The absolute value can't be negative.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, cool.
So either way, know the picture, probably the best way to go, or plug things in. Either way, you get negative 1. Other questions? Emily?
Number 11?
Number 11. Uh-oh, this looks like a plug it in situation, because I do not know what the graph of x over the square root of x squared minus 9 looks like. That is not a graph that I know. So I'm going to have to plug in, let's see, negative 3 from the left, so smaller than negative 3 would be like negative 3.01. So let's see if this works. So negative 3.01 over square root of negative 3.01 squared minus 9. Let's see, so that would be negative 3.01 over square root of, so if we square 3.01, we get something a little bit bigger than 9, because the square wipes out the negative. Bigger than 3 means bigger than 9 when we square it. So I'm going to kind of switch to that little plus and minus stuff, so a little bigger than 9. Minus 9. So that would give me a 0 in the bottom. It's a positive 0, so I can take the square root and get 0, but I've got a 0 in the bottom and it's not 0 in the top, so this isn't like, is there some magic fix to it? We're stuck with divided by 0 means we're headed to infinity, so that's d and e because it goes to infinity. If we really wanted to be specific, it goes to negative infinity because of that negative sign. Looking for a calculator to see what this picture looks like to kind of confirm that I got it right. So let's see. Let's see. Fraction bar x over square root x squared minus 9. And as long as we see negative 3, we should be okay. So let's see if I'm right. So yeah, negative 3 from the left, it goes to infinity. The calculator just plots points and connects the dots, so apparently it didn't connect the dot down far enough. But even here I can see that we're headed toward negative infinity. But this is one where I mean, if you had a calculator, you could graph it and look at it, but without a calculator, you'd have to use the substitution method. Rachel.
Can you do 21?
21. Limit as x approaches pi of cotangent of x. Well, I don't really think in terms of cotangent. So let's switch this to cosine over sine and see what happens. So substitute in. We get cosine of pi over sine of pi. Let's see, pi is over there, so cosine is -1. Sine is 0. And there's a 0 in the bottom, but there's not a 0 in the top, so that's not fixable. Like, I'm stuck. And so that's going to be infinity. -1 divided by a really small number is infinity. And actually, I guess negative infinity to be more precise. But either way, this is a D and E because it heads to infinity. D and E is the answer. The reason is infinity. And let's see. I can remember what the graph of cotangent looks like, which you probably don't know. But if we plugged it in, it looks like that. Which actually means one side is negative, one side's positive, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't exist because it's going to infinity. Good question. Anything else from 79? All right, new stuff for today.